Hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Welcome to another episode of Brewing It Live with me, Lotus, and my good friend Han. Say hello, Han.
Hi, everybody. How have you been?
It's been a while since we've done one of these, but sometimes life just happens and things get in the way. But we're back.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure.
We're back. And spoiler season, no less, because it is werewolf season. And unfortunately, we were going to do a werewolf, but Architect isn't up to date yet.
Nope.
So the next best thing, zombies. we decided to do Gisa, Glorius, Resurrector, 2 black for a legendary human wizard. A 4/4 with if a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. And then, at the beginning of your upkeep, put all creature cards exiled with Gisa Glorious Resurrector onto the battlefield under your control, and they gain Decayed, which is a new mechanic which says, a creature with Decayed can't block. When it attacks, sacrifice it at the end of combat.
Oh man, Decayed sounds so good.
Like, I can see, I've heard people say Decayed is a bad mechanic because you can't block and you sacrifice it at the end of combat. Yet, I think sacrificing at the end of combat is exactly what you want to do in black.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think you care that you can't block with these creatures. You just want to attack with them. Or if they have an ability, just don't use them as an attacker.
Yeah. It's going to be some fun, especially with zombies wanting to come back so often anyways. So yeah, I think that could be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So I play a deck that's similar to this. I play Shiro's Caretaker, which says if any one of my creatures die, which has 1 power, it will come back in the next end step. So this is very, very interesting to me in that regards. And good evening, Mercadian Merchant.
Hey, how you doing, Mercadian Merchant? Can't wait to see some of the suggestions that come from chat today. It'll be fun.
Yes. But even though we've got a human wizard, which in black, wizard sounds very odd. You know, I'm odd that it's a wizard, but, you know, who am I to argue? But I feel that this should be, I don't know. I'm looking at aristocrats, zombie tribal.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how you want to go. I can certainly see a lot of just zombies in general just being great for this.
But then they don't have to be zombies because they're not returning as zombies, are they? They're just decayed.
Correct.
So we don't have to really worry about it.
Right.
But it has to be a creature an opponent controls to get exiled, which is the tricky bit.
Nah, it should be okay.
So, do we want to go zombies or mass removal? How are you looking at it? Because we need to protect our commander for it to trigger.
Right.
It needs to stay on the board the whole turn. Otherwise, it will reset. Maybe not.
Why? What are you thinking?
At the beginning of your upkeep, put all creature cards exiled with Gisa, Glorious Resurrector onto the battlefield. We have to protect the whole round, don't we?
Technically.
Okay.
I can think of a couple ways to do it, for sure.
Okay, what's your thoughts on this one?
Well, I mean, first of all, let's talk about protection, right? So a couple of mono black protection spells that I can think of off the bat. You know, we love ourselves some counter spells, right?
Okay.
So things like
Imp's Mischief?
Right. Imp's Mischief. Things like I was thinking also what's that one? Oh, I'm forgetting it actually.
What's it do?
It's the other black counter spell.
You
have to pay 3 life or something like that, right?
Yeah. God, why do you do this to me, Han? The other black counter spell. Let me just have a quick look.
Withering
boon.
boon.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. So Withering Boon is another one that we could throw in. I think two or so like clutch counter spells are probably a good idea here.
Yeah, I mean, Withering Boom, pay 3 life, counter target creature spell, or Imp's Mischief, change the target of a spell with a single target, and I lose life equal to the converted mana cost.
Right.
So those two can be our protection.
Right. So I think that outside of that protection wise, there's our Swiftfoot boots, our lightning greaves, right? Our go-to staples.
Swiftfoot Boots and a Lightning Greaves. So Swiftfoot Boots gives you hexproof and haste as an artifact.
Mm-hmm.
And Lightning Greaves gives us shroud and haste.
Right.
Okay. So is there any other ones that we can do that can save our commander? I'm trying to think of any other artifacts that do something. Oh, Commander's Plate.
Yeah, that'll certainly. Yeah, mono black.
Yeah, we get protection from everything but black. So
For sure.
then should we put in a Sword of Light and Shadow to give us protection from black?
We could. I think that that's a lot of artifacts and equipments, however, for a mono black deck, which has a couple of other options as well.
Okay.
So for example, things that I'm thinking of in terms of quote unquote semi protection, not quite as good as the aforementioned options, but things like Malakir Rebirth, the instant choose target creature, you lose 2 life until end of turn. That creature gains when this creature dies, return it to the battlefield tapped under
Okay.
its owner's control. So we don't get to keep it necessarily the whole time if it does wind up getting destroyed this way, but we do get it back, right?
And that can cut our land because it is a land on the other side.
Right. Arcadia Merchant has a good suggestion. Cauldron of Souls or Dark Steel Plate. I like that a lot, actually.
Cauldron of Souls. That's the one that gives them persist, isn't it?
Correct.
I haven't heard
And I
that.
think
I haven't seen that in ages. Choose any number of
it,
target creatures. Each of those creatures gain persist until end of turn.
right. And I think that if we're on the subject of Cauldron of Souls as a way of protection, Arcadia Merchant, what do you feel about putting in what's the Micaeus, right?
Oh, Micaeus. I've put in Dark Steel Plate because it has indestructible and gives
Yeah,
indestructible.
pretty fantastic one. Yeah, so to pair with Cauldron of Souls, I think that Micaeus would be great because between Cauldron of Souls and Micaeus,
I'm.
Micaeus,
What's his full name? Because I can't spell it.
Mika.
Ah, Mika.
Yep.
Are we looking at
But
the
Micaeus,
Unhallowed?
the Unhallowed. Yep. It's a 3 and 3 black for a legendary creature zombie cleric. It has 5/5 with Intimidate. Whenever a human deals damage to you, destroy it.
Okay.
But the best part about this is that other non-human creatures you control get +1/+1 and have Undying. So functionally, with Undying, we can have our commander hit the graveyard.
No, because it's non-human and our commander's a human.
Is it is a human wizard, unfortunately.
It's a human wizard. Ah.
Unfortunate. Okay. I would still say Micaeus is great in this because all of our zombie creatures can still come back. I don't think it's getting stricken off for that, but
No.
unfortunate.
I mean, we wouldn't be able to get the decayed ones back.
Right. But we're going to have other creatures that would like to come back, I think, as support.
Yes.
Because in Zombie Tribal, there's a lot of +1/+1 or +2/+2 for all other zombie type effects.
I mean, even if we don't have tribal, if we have Micaeus and the Cauldron of Souls, we can put things in like is it the tube? Is it Chupacabra?
Right, Ravenous Chupacabra.
That's the one, the Ravenous. Because we want them to have their creatures die. And if we can then go, okay, we play Ravenous Chupacabra, it enters the battlefield, we destroy a target creature an opponent controls, we can then sack this somehow and then persist it back.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the other one that does it for each opponent sacrifice, or each player sacrifices a creature.
I'm not entirely certain about that myself, actually.
Oh, great. Oh, God. Straight in there with bombs. Grave Pact and Dictate of Erebos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Those are phenomenal ones. So, making use of the fact that these decayed zombies will be dying anyhow, Mercadia Merchant is suggesting Grave Pact
Oh my.
and Dictate of Erebos.
Oh my. Okay, so Grave Pact is 1 black, black, black for an enchantment. Whenever a creature control dies, each other player sacrifices a creature. So
Mhm.
we have a creature die on our side. Everyone sacks a creature. It comes back to our side with Decayed. We swing with it, which at the end of turn we sacrifice them, which in turn makes them sacrifice another load of creatures for us to steal again. This is a
Yep.
vicious cycle.
Yep.
And the Dictate of Erebos is the same, but more expensive, I believe, with Flash.
Correct. So one more for Flash and has the same effect. Anytime our creatures die, each other player has to sacrifice a creature. Yeah, with Decayed, we are going to have a lot of people just sacrificing their blockers, essentially.
Oh, is this the deck we put Tergrid in?
No, we don't need to go that degenerate. I think it's going to be fantastic, just as with all the Decayed triggers and things like that. I don't think we need to go the Turgid route, because then you'll just get all the hate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Butcher and Malakir says Mercadian as well, because why not have another one? Are you sure? I can just see like Dan sitting there building this deck with the Russian anthem going, your deck? Our deck.
I can see that too. For myself, Butcher seems a little bit expensive at 7, but let's throw that in for now.
Yeah, but it's an 80-cent card.
True. True enough. And so one of the big things that just spoke to me as far as when I saw this, though, one of the huge threats with this kind of a deck and the way it's going already, I can see. Can you imagine what Black Market will do in this type of a deck?
Oh.
Because so Black Market is 3 black black for an enchantment. Whenever a creature dies, put a charge counter on Black Market. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, add 1 black for each charge counter on Black Market.
And you said the Butcher of Malakir was too expensive.
Well, that's why I was leading straight into Black Market. If we're going with a Butcher of Malakir, okay, let's have a way to get it out, right?
I mean, yes.
Yeah. And I don't know about you, I think that that just kind of leans into, okay, so now if we resolve this and if it manages to stay for whatever reason, which it shouldn't, by the way, but if it does, we can do things the following turn anytime the charge counters start stacking up. Yeah. And it'll happen fast with Decayed, right?
Ooh.
Just imagine.
If we are having this many creatures die and you're putting in Black Market for that benefit, I think we need to put in a Liliana for the card draw. What's the War of the Spark one? Liliana General.
Yep. Perfect one for this, for sure.
So she's 6 mana, 4 black, black, but her static ability is whenever a creature you control dies, draw a card.
Let's try not to deck ourselves with Decay.
True. But +1, create a 2/2 zombie. That's good. Each player sacrifices 2 creatures as a -4. Again, that's great. And -9, each opponent chooses a permanent they control of each permanent type and sacrifices the rest. That can just win the game.
Yep. But, I think that Liliana is just great for what it does. Just the card draw effect, the static effect alone makes it 1000% worth it in my personal opinion. So let's definitely have this in. Sega Genesis 91 suggesting Sir Conrad would like this deck brew. What are your thoughts on a Sir Conrad in this deck?
Well, welcome to the stream. And Sir Conrad, the Grim. Well, I think he would fit in perfectly. 3 black, black for a human knight, 5/4. Whenever another creature dies, or a creature card is put into a graveyard from anywhere other than the battlefield, or a creature leaves your graveyard, Sir Conrad the Grim deals 1 damage to each opponent. And for 1 and a black, each player mills a card.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if each player is milling a card, Waste not?
Waste not's discarding though.
Does it have to be discard?
Yes.
Darn. But I mean, it still gets us, 2 cards into our mana pool on a discard, and we can get zombies out of it. So maybe board, I'd say for now.
I'll leave it for now.
Yeah, Mercadian Merchant says Undead Augur might be good outside of Tribal. Okay, I can see that.
Double black, zombie wizard. Whenever Undead Augur or another zombie you control dies, you draw a card and lose a life. I mean, yeah.
Yep.
We are having a few zombies.
Kind of an aristocrats. Yeah. Nice draw effect. Get a little drain the table a little bit, just not with the health gain from us, but yeah.
Yeah. I know it's probably going to be too expensive for quite a few players like myself.
Sure.
What about the other Liliana?
Which one?
Is it Lily of the Veil?
The Veil is the expensive one if you're talking about
target player sacrifices a creature. It's not actually as good as I
thought. Not as good.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. I was hoping it was something else.
Hey, Jojo. Good to see you on the stream. Midnight Reaper is a zombie. I love it.
Ooh.
Midnight Reaper. We're getting all the card draw in here.
We're going to deck ourselves.
That's okay.
We're going to
go out. We're mono black.
2 and a black for a zombie knight. 3/2. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, deals 1 damage to you and you draw a card. Okay, yep, everything with decay will die. It's not a token. So now we need something that's going to gain us life. Oh, Bastion of Remembrance.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Because then we can negate the damage. Whenever a creature we control dies, each opponent loses life and we gain a life.
For sure. So
that can negate some of the life we're taking.
Yeah, that'll certainly work. We have Sega Genesis saying Species Specialist for card draw. Draw 2.
I've not seen this one.
I love Species Specialist. Yeah, it's great. It's in the Mardu Trin and Sylvar deck.
Oh. See, I only bought some singles from that deck because I didn't buy that one. So this one might...
Yeah, it's fantastic.
2 black, 2/3 human warrior. As it enters, choose a creature type. Whenever a creature of the chosen type dies, you may draw a card. Ooh, so if we're playing against...
Essentially not decking ourselves.
And if we're playing against another tribal player, we can choose their stuff if we're not going too much on zombies.
Right, which... The general feel of this deck, I don't think that'll ever happen, but yeah. Mercadian Merchant is suggesting a Zulaport Cutthroat. So, I mean, yeah, if we want some life back, right? Because Zulaport gives us life, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it just
whenever a creature... No, lose a life. Each opponent loses a life and you gain a life.
There we go.
This feeds into when I was saying earlier at the beginning that this could be a great aristocrats deck.
Yeah. We have a suggestion of Haunt of Hightower.
Oh, that was
and a Blood Artist.
The Haunt of Hightower was the buyer box, wasn't it?
Yep. Now, is it good in this deck? Let me see here. Haunt of Hightower. I haven't looked at this in a while. Oh, it's a vampire. Hey.
Or black for a 3/3 flying lifelink. Whenever it attacks, defending player discards a card. Whenever a card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, put a +1/+1 counter on the Haunt of Hightower. I mean, it's just a good card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Discard a card, get bigger. Yeah, flying lifelink. It could get big, and we can definitely be lifelinking. I like it.
I mean, the lifelink will save us with quite a lot of the pings that we're taking for drawing cards, and the Blood Artist
to go hand in hand with the Zulaport Cutthroat. Yep.
Yeah. There we go.
Sega Genesis. Yeah, Trin and Sylvar. One of your favorite decks that you've built in your 2 years of Magic. Yeah, I've played against it quite a few times. I have a lot of friends who absolutely love Trin and Sylvar. So. Yeah, I faced against it, especially when it goes real good humans. Yeah, you're gonna get some value out of it. It's pretty disgusting how big that doggy gets.
Yeah, and I've not played against it, and I'm quite glad, I think.
Yeah, I think we're getting a bunch of happiness with Blood Artist. Mercadian Merchant says Blood Artist is good as well.
And Smothering Abomination. I've not heard of that one.
I'm not familiar with that one, actually. Yeah. What is this abomination you're bringing in here?
An Eldrazi. Okay, 2 black, 4/3 for a devoid flyer. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice a creature. Whenever you sacrifice a creature, draw a card.
Oh, it's in. Let's go.
Yeah.
We need a little bit of representation from Eldrazi in the deck.
Seems fine. It seems fine. So
Fine, she says.
I know I'm skipping over creatures and going into lands quite early, but I do think Cabal Coffers, as it's been reprinted, is good to go.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
Cabal Stronghold, because that's a card that...
Yeah, we're mono black.
Yeah. As long as we don't lose too many basic swamps, we're fine. And if we've got their creatures, I know it's going to be very situational, but if they have Defender and we can't attack with them, what about a Phyrexian Tower to use them as mana?
Yeah. Yeah, all the mana. We definitely need it in some of these in some of these situations, I think.
So just to get those lands out of the way, because they were in my head rattling around.
Yeah, for sure. Couple of things that I want to bring to the table here. So one of the best removals, and it's in my opinion underplayed. I really like Tragic Slip.
Ooh.
1 black for an instant. Target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. But it also has Morbid. That creature gets -13/-13 until end of turn if a creature died this turn. I think with Decay, that's a nice little synergy where you're pretty much guaranteed -13, -13 on a creature and get rid of something pretty big.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I'm also there's a new kill spell that came out recently that I really, really like. It's called Infernal Grasp. I just had to look it up.
Sure.
Hopefully they've got it on here. Yes. So it's a single one. It's 1 and a black for an instant. Destroy target creature. You lose 2 life. Really good instant.
Yeah, not bad.
Just think it's just a nice, quick kill spell.
Yeah, seems pretty good.
Crypt of Agadeem. Ooh.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That also depends on how many creatures we have in our graveyard, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
I mean, it doesn't exile our ones.
Fair.
I think it's worth putting in because at the very worst, it's a tap swamp.
Sure.
And it has a good ceiling. And Jojo says has Sarazat.
Sazat?
I think that's the Planeswalker, isn't it?
Oh, Doom of Fools.
Yeah. Tevich Zat.
There we go.
So 4 and a black, create... so it's a Planeswalker with 4 loyalty, +2, create 2/0/1 black for all creature tokens, +1. You may sacrifice another creature or Planeswalker. If you do, draw 2 cards. Then draw another card if the sacrifice permanent was a commander. -10, gain control of all commanders. Put all commanders from the command zone onto the battlefield under your control. Yep.
I could see that.
Try Crippling Fear from the Kaldheim set. Ooh.
Yeah.
Crippling Fear. 2 black. Sorcery. Choose a creature type. Creatures that aren't of the chosen type get -3/-3 to end of turn. Yeah. Also, I know this one's going to sound a bit expensive, but it will keep our commander alive. In Garruk's Wake.
I can see that.
So destroy all creatures you don't control, which is everyone's, and our commander will bring them back.
Yeah, that'll work. We have a suggestion from Jojo saying maybe Bolas's Citadel. I think that largely depends on what we've got going on, but I think that's a definite maybe for now. I would say put it in. Let's see if it sticks around. Bolas's Citadel is very nasty.
I mean, I can see why, because it's the bottom ability. Sacrifice 10 non-land permanents and each opponent loses 10 life.
Yeah, if we happen to have a bunch of zombies that are decaying anyways, right?
Sacrifice them and each person loses 10 life. No,
now,
I can see that.
Correct me if I'm wrong. So just to get an idea on this decayed mechanic. So the decayed creature can't block, and when it attacks, sacrifices it at the end of combat. So you can still attack during combat. You can activate this and sacrifice them before they have to get sacrificed at the end of combat. Correct?
Yes. Basically, at the end of combat, there's an end of combat phase where that trigger will hit the stack. Right. You can respond to that trigger and then sacrifice them to whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, thank you, Ashen, for the subscription.
Yeah. So yeah, so there's a window in this where we could use the decayed zombies at any given point, which I really like.
Yeah.
I do need to highlight a card that is going to be coming out that just seems phenomenal. Champion of the Perished.
Oh, this card's seeing so much love at the
All
minute.
kinds of love, and I just need to throw this out here because especially in a decayed kind of a deck, it can go absolutely nuts, I think. So Champion of the Perished, 1 black for a 1/1 zombie. Whenever another zombie enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Champion of the Perished. Woof, that is going to get big.
But the decayed aren't zombies, though. That's the only thing.
Right. But
But
anything that we have that are going to be zombies.
they will be big, yes.
Right.
Soul Shatter, could put my teeth in, might be okay removal, says Macadian.
Soul Shatter. Remind me which one that is?
Ooh. 2 and a black for an instant. Each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker with the highest converter mana cost among creatures and planeswalkers they control.
Asymmetrical. Okay.
Yeah. And it takes the biggest thing, which 9 times out of 10 is the biggest thing that we want to remove anyway.
Yeah, I could see that for sure.
And Gift of Doom might be nice protection. Ooh.
Gift of Doom.
Is that the... Come on, there we go. So
Gift of Doom.
4 and a black, enchantment aura, enchant creature. Enchanting creature has death touch and indestructible. It can morph by sacrificing another creature. As Gift of Doom is turned face up, you may attach it to a creature.
Oh, that's dirty.
Yeah, so we can play it as a morph face down 2/2 for 3, and then sacrifice a creature to turn it over and attach it.
Yeah, sacrifice the decayed creature anyways, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to lose it. We might as well use it.
Yeah, if we attack it. Yeah, if we attack with it, for sure.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I think that here's one card that I thought of hand in hand with the previous card I just mentioned, the Champion of the Perished. Just think if you can somehow make that Champion of the Perished stick around for a Rise of the Dreadmarn. Just a thought I had.
Okay.
2 and a black for an instant. You can foretell it for 1 black, but create X 2/2 black zombie berserker creature tokens, where X is the number of non-token creatures that died this turn. In the face of a board wipe.
Ooh. Or even if we board wipe and then
right,
we get all those...
and then proceed to resolve a champion on second main at some point, because it's died this turn, right?
Yeah.
So it's gonna see all those come back.
Yeah. Okay, that's disgusting.
Makes me so happy. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think one of the fun ones though, because what do we like about zombies?
I mean, they have a lot of lords,
right?
And they just recur all the time,
right? I really want to throw in a Death Baron.
Is that the gives them +1 death touch?
Yup. Skeletons you control and other zombies you control get +1/+1 and have death touch. It's a 2/2 zombie wizard for 1 black and black.
Okay.
And I really want to highlight this death touch mechanic, because then even the creatures that, are 1/1s now, 1/1s, 2/2s are now all death touch is phenomenal, because do you really want to block, or are we getting through for some damage? It kind of creates a fun, well, for us anyways, fun way to make them think, right?
True. And sorry, Jojo just put in Carrion Feeder in chat.
Oh, I love Carrion Feeder.
If our decayed creatures are gonna die anyway, sacrifice them to make this.
Yeah. This basically is a decayed zombie. It can't block already. We just don't have to sacrifice it at the end of combat, and it can just get bigger. I love it.
Yeah. What's that? What's that enchantment that says if a creature deals damage to us, destroy it.
Oh, no mercy.
No mercy.
Of course I know this off the top of my head. I love this card.
I mean,
Yeah. So we're gonna turn all of our cards sideways.
and then are you going to swing at us and let us have your board if we
Oh, yeah.
survive?
If you happen to have one, which I do because I love the alternate art on this.
Is there an
Yeah,
alternate art?
There is. It is a masterpiece, however, but it's so good.
Oh, fair. Jeez, it's so expensive now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that one would work really well as well. Just someone swings
Yeah.
at us to try and get some revenge. Oh, your creature died. It's mine now.
And let's see here. What are your thoughts on so I'm gonna lean into this Death Touch a little bit more because I really like the idea. And there's a couple of new cards that came out in recent sets that are pretty fantastic for it. Can you look up Wand of Orcus for me, Lotus?
I have nightmares of the Wand of Orcus because the main bad guy in my D&D group was the demon Orcus, and we lost that campaign, so it's a bit of a touchy subject.
Well, if you would like to run this deck, we put in a Wand of Orcus, 2 and a black, for a legendary artifact equipment. Whenever equipped creature attacks or blocks, it and zombies you control gain Death Touch until end of turn. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, create that many 2/2 black zombie creature tokens.
Ew.
Equip for 3.
Okay, that's quite disgusting.
So, Champion of the Perished, Carrion Feeder if it gets big enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, reassembling skeleton. Yeah.
Do we want a reassembling skeleton or a Gravecrawler?
Is that the same thing, but a zombie?
Right. And reassembling skeleton you do have to pay mana into to bring back, whereas Gravecrawler is just, yeah, you can just cast Gravecrawler from your graveyard as long as you control a zombie for 1 black.
I'm gonna still say that's JoJo's idea.
That is JoJo's idea as far as I'm concerned too. Yeah.
Do we want
Yeah, JoJo is right. It doesn't matter. The Death Baron sees both. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Do we want Zombie Blossom?
I'm not familiar with this one. What is this?
Dread Horde Invasion. It's Bitter Blossom, but with zombies.
Dread Horde Invasion. Yeah.
One and a black. At the beginning of your upkeep, lose a life and amass 1. Put a +1 counter on an army you control. If you don't control one, make a 0/0 black zombie army first. Whenever
this last line of text.
Whenever a zombie token you control with power 6 or greater attacks, it gains lifelink.
If we have a big old zombie, we gain that much life. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Mercadia Merchant says Nether Trader and Bloodghast. I like Bloodghast. Nether Trader, remind me, what's the mana value on Nether Trader?
Nether Trader is 2 black for a spirit 1/1 with haste and shadow. Whenever another creature is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, you may pay black. If you do, return it from the graveyard to the battlefield.
Okay. This is not the card I was thinking of. Okay.
And Bloodghast, I believe, is the landfall one.
Bloodghast. I was thinking of 2 totally different cards, actually.
Bloodghast is double black for a vampire spirit that can't block. It has haste as long as an opponent has 10 or less life, and landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may return it from the graveyard to your battlefield.
Yep. Yeah, I was thinking of totally different cards. I thought it was going to be Cryptcast and the other one that does the same effect for doubling or add an additional black mana for swamps.
Yeah. So Open the Graves is a good suggestion.
How much are we bringing it out of the grave, though? Open the Graves is out of...
Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, create a black 2/2 zombie.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I was thinking of...
No. This is our decayed zombies now make... Or our decayed creatures now make zombies.
So the decayed... They gain decayed, so it's still the original creature.
It's still the original creature. So
that is pretty sweet.
Your Llanowar elf dies because of decayed, and then you make a 2/2 zombie.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Sounds great.
Yeah.
I like it. So wait a second.
Do we need a...
We don't have the original Gisa in here, right?
Not yet. Does she fit? Which Gisa?
I think so. Oof, JoJo coming in with a swing for the fences.
Ghoul
That's
Caller
dirty, JoJo.
Gisa is 3 black black, black and tap, sacrifice a creature, create a X/2/2 black zombie, where X is the sacrifice creature's power. I mean, that would work with our Decayed, yeah. And
Yeah, for sure.
Ooh.
While we're on the subject of this, because the Ghoul Caller Giza just reminded me, Commander Collection Black, that's the art for that, I believe, right?
Yes.
So, isn't I think the Lily is probably a good idea from that same, right? Liliana, Heretical Healer?
Yeah, sorry, I got distracted with the JoJo suggestion, Graft
Yeah,
Harvest.
that's the one that I was saying was disgusting. Yeah, Draft Harvest is great.
1 black mana for an enchantment that zombies you control have menace. Exile a creature card from your graveyard, put a 2/2 zombie onto the battlefield. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Liliana Heretical Healer, isn't it?
Yep, Heretical Healer, which this is the first time I'm seeing the flip side of it. But yeah.
Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, exile it, return it to the battlefield. If you do, create a token. On the back, each player discards a card. Return a non-legendary creature with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Or -8, you get an emblem with whenever a creature dies, return it to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of the next end step. Oh.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Whenever a creature dies.
Yeah, that's just filth. I like it.
That's phenomenal in this. And triggering this dying is not going to be hard because it's not a token, right? Decayed?
No.
Oh my goodness. That is called synergy right there.
What's a grave spawn sovereign?
That's a good question. Grave spawn.
Oh, back from skirt. No, that's onslaught. 4 black black for a zombie lord 3/3. Tap 5 untapped zombies you control. Put target creature card from a graveyard into play under your control.
I want to do it. Let's throw it in. I like it.
Ah, see, this is onslaught. This was when I first started playing Magic. Back in onslaught, Scourge, and Apocalypse, I believe there was the other one. Gary.
You know,
how could
yep,
we?
Gary. I don't know, but yeah, let's get Gary in on this action. I think everybody knows Grey Merchant of Asphodel.
The Gary.
Pick your art, whatever art you want. Yeah, 3 black for a zombie, 2/4. Whenever it enters the battlefield, each opponent loses X life, where X is the devotion to black. You gain life equal to the life lost this way. Yep. Let's go ahead and grab a bunch of it. You know, yep. Mercadian Merchant says Crypt Breaker is pretty good. Yep, Crypt Breaker is pretty great. 1 black for a zombie, 1/1, 1 and a black, and tap Crypt Breaker and discard a card. Put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield. But you can also tap 3 untapped zombies you control. You draw a card and you lose 1 life.
Ooh,
fair trade.
That's nice card draw.
Yep. Now, the Graph Harvest. I'm also remembering a card because of that. Where is it?
Oh, what are you thinking of?
It's Lord of the Accursed.
Oh.
Zombie Lord, 2 and a black for 2/3 zombie. Other zombies you control get +1/+1. And 1 and a black and tap Lord of the Accursed. All zombies gain menace until end of turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want zombie lords, is it Zombie Overlord?
Zombie Master is one. Maybe there's a Zombie Overlord.
I'm trying to think of the specific.
Are you thinking of the 2/1 Zombie Lord?
It reduces the cost by 1 and gives them +2/+0, I believe.
Undead Warchief?
That's it.
Yeah. I like that one.
So 2 black. Zombie spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, and zombie creatures you control get +2/+1. It doesn't say other.
Nope.
So it itself is a 3/2.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. I love zombies to death. I've made a couple of zombie decks and I've disassembled it, but I always come back to loving zombies some more. So
I mean, they're a classic. Same with goblins and
for sure. Jojo has a suggestion of Eternal Taskmaster. Ooh, I like that.
That was War of the Spark, wasn't it? Yes.
It was.
It enters the battlefield tapped. Whenever it attacks, you may pay 2 and a black. If you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Ooh. Yeah.
No, it was yeah, it was, I think. War of the Spark and Jumpstart. Yep.
Yep. I know my
Ooh.
sets.
Mausoleum Secrets is coming from Mercadian Merchant. 1 and a black for an instant. Undergrowth. Search your library for a black card with mana value less than or equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle your library.
I think this is a tutor that I think is overlooked sometimes with graveyard decks.
For sure. Yep.
I think it needs more love.
Oh.
We're doing pretty well here. This deck's looking vicious.
What are your thoughts on a Plum the Forbidden in this deck? Because of decay, it seems real good.
Plums.
Plum the Forbidden, 1 and a black, instant. As an additional cost to cast it, you may sacrifice 1 or more creatures. When you do, copy this spell for each creature sacrificed this way. Draw a card, lose a life.
Yeah. Sacrifice all the ones we've attacked with and draw cards off them.
Yep. Seems like a Village Rites on steroids.
Yeah.
For 1 more, right?
I mean, is Village Rites
potentially
going in as well, or is that just overkill with the amount of card draw we've actually got here?
I don't know. We can take a look at that, I think. You know what? You know what this deck needs? I just thought of something phenomenal for it, and I love it.
Okay.
We're mono black, right?
I hope so.
We're kind of using some life and getting some life back at some point, right?
I mean, yes, we have the Butcher and Malik, Zilliport Cutthroat and Bastion of Remembrance.
Right. What are your thoughts on throwing? Let's throw a Crick in here.
Crick?
Son of Yawgmoth. Krrik.
Oh, why would you do this?
Because why not?
For each black mana in a cost, you may pay 2 life rather than its mana cost. Whenever you cast a black spell, put a +1 counter on Crick. It's lifelink as well. I mean, it does make our spells cheaper. I mean, well, I say cheaper. It can make them easier to cast with life. And, you know, in black, it is a resource.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that, you know, like, for example, Bolas' Citadel costs 3 and 6 life.
Ugh.
D&D card. Book of Vile Darkness. What are your thoughts on it?
Book of Vile Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't read this one for ages, actually. Legendary artifact Trickle Black. At the beginning of your end step, if you lost 2 or more life this turn, make a 2/2 zombie creature token. Exile the Book of Darkness and artifacts you name the Eye of Vecna, the Hand of Vecna, and create a legendary 8/8 black zombie god creature token with indestructible.
I mean, we don't even need the rest of it, but I mean, at the beginning of your end step, if you lost 2 or more life this turn, create a zombie. What do you think? Not quite?
Not quite there, I don't think. Not if you're not using it to its full advantage.
That's fair. I'm okay with that. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Gutter Bones. Oh, is that the one from Ravnica?
Yeah, I think so. Mm-hmm.
Single black for a 2/1 skeleton warrior. Enters the battlefield tapped. 1 and a black. Return it from your graveyard to your hand. Activate this ability only during your turn and only if an opponent lost life. That's good. That's good sacrifice fodder. Oh, that's just reminded me. What's his name? Ebon Death.
Yep, Draco Lich.
How could I forget this card? 2 black for a zombie dragon. 5/2 with flash flying, enters a battlefield tapped, and you may cast it from your graveyard if a creature not named Ebon Death died this turn.
So flash this in right before your turn.
Or even with the decayed triggers.
Yeah. But I mean, you could also just do that on another person's turn too. Yeah. I could see that being good. You could flash it in as a flying blocker. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it comes in tapped, but still. So,
coming back to our commander, right? If a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. I think that a Fleshbag Marauder is just too good. Zombie warrior that just has each player sacrifice a creature.
Oh, these were the cards I was on about with the Chupacabra. This with Persist would be great.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's another one that does it, but I can't remember the other version.
Well, this one's specifically a zombie. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah. Jojo also says Skull Storm.
Oh, that's dirty.
What's that? Is that the one that you... Oh, this. 7 black
Yeah,
black.
this.
When you cast this spell, copy it for each time your commander has left the command zone in this game. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. Each opponent who can't loses half their life rounded up.
Yeah, that's dirty. It
do-
is a game ender,
do we-
especially if you have even a Graft Harvest out.
Do you know what? That's also reminded me of the other one, that Torment of Hailfire.
I mean, sure.
I mean, X black black, repeat the process X times. Each opponent loses 3 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or discard a card. If they're going to start sacrificing creatures, it's going to just be... It's going to get worse.
Ooh. Sorry. I have a thought. Remind me on the thought later. But yeah, let's take some of these. Mercadian Merchant says Vile Entomber might be nice. So Vile Entomber, 2 black black for a 2/2 zombie warlock with Death Touch. I like it already. When Vile Entomber enters the battlefield, search your library for a card, put that card into your graveyard, and shuffle. Okay.
Oh, we can go
So
get...
basically Entomb, but it's a zombie.
And we can go get Ebon Death.
Sure. Or Gravecrawler or any of the other ones. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what might be really, really fun? Okay.
I'm gonna go for JoJo's Deadly Tempest first.
Yeah, go for it. I'm just having brain synapses firing all of a sudden, so it's just me.
Deadly Tempest is 4 black black. Destroy all creatures. Each player loses life equal to the number of creatures they controlled that were destroyed this way. Now, it would destroy our... Mind you, if our creature had Indestructible with the plate, it would then be just as nasty.
Yep.
I mean, it's a good board wipe. Most of our creatures are going to die anyway because of their decaying.
Yep.
Plaguecrafter was the other one I was thinking of. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
JoJo's there on it. It's a human shaman, but when it enters, each player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. Each player who can't discards a card.
Yep.
And Marcadian says Dread Return is a nice free in brackets spell.
Red Return, yeah.
Yeah, flashbacks, sacrifice 3 creatures. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield for 2 black black, or flashback, sacrifice 3 creatures.
Yeah, I can totally go for that.
We're at exactly 100 cards now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, means we have to start swapping them out now.
Uh-oh, that's no good. Okay, so let me go ahead and get this one out there because I thought of it and I think I need to. So what about a Murderous Rider?
I'm sorry, Macadian. Yes, cuts. Murderous
Rider.
Is that a zombie?
It is a zombie. It's a zombie knight.
I thought it was a skeleton knight for some strange reason.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
And I run this in my standard deck, at least until rotation in 2 weeks. One of the best multi-cards I've run in a long time. So 1 black black for a 2/3 with lifelink, and when it dies, put it on the bottom of its owner's library. Or it has an adventure as an instant, Swift End. 1 black black, destroy target creature or planeswalker, you lose 2 life.
Yep.
Now, this is the... I'm going on tangent here. This rotates out my standard deck, hence why I added in that new one, Infernal Grasp. It's a nice replacement.
Yeah.
But what do we take out?
My thought here is we need to take out some stuff, which is going to be hard. How much do you think we need of like destroy spells? Because I see we have a Dismember, Defile is pretty good, but for like a board, I
think you're looking at the wrong side. I think with kill spells we need, but I think we're gonna have... I'm looking at Bloodghast because it's a vampire and it doesn't really synergize with our zombie strategy.
Okay, I would agree with that. Yeah, I was looking at the wrong architect. So Bloodghast, I'm a little bit uncertain. Where is that one?
We're at 100, so...
Mm-hmm.
Attrition. Okay. Ooh.
Attrition is a very good card if especially if we have like a grave packed out. It's disgusting.
Oh, I need to get me one of these fast. One black
Yep.
black enchantment, sacrifice a creature, destroy target non-black creature. Ooh.
So you can 2 for 1 if you have a grave pact effect, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna target something, you're gonna have to sacrifice something anyways because I'm sacrificing a creature to attrition.
Okay. Just looking. Would anyone be upset if I took out the Horton of Hightower just because it's not a zombie? I'm really
Yeah.
sorry. I'm really sorry. It's
I think that we're getting to the point where it's got to do some strong stuff. And yeah, let's throw some zombie related things in here. I think um, might take might take the cake a little bit more.
okay.
I'm uncertain about the gutter bones, if I'm being completely honest. But that is one of my maybes as of right now.
I mean, the only thing
Nether
Gutter Bones has
Tracer.
got going for it is that we can sacrifice it to attrition and then still bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Ebon Death.
Yeah, those are some thoughts for sure.
That's right.
What is your thought on this card? Because I just want to bring it out there.
Okay.
Balthor the Defiled.
Let's have a look.
Two black for a zombie dwarf legend.
Okay.
Legendary zombie dwarf creature. Pay black. Or all minions get +1/+1. And remind me on what minions are. Is that tokens?
Minions is a creature type.
Okay. So maybe that part's not relevant. However, pay black. You basically exile Balthor the Defiled. And everybody brings back all black and all red creature cards from their graveyard to the battlefield.
Is that
It's a zombie.
beneficial to us?
Is it not beneficial? Depends on how full our graveyard is, no?
Depends if they're all playing red.
I mean, also think about this. Champion of the Defiled will see all of those zombies come back. Potentially.
I think it's too deadly, and I'm gonna maybe board it.
Fair. Fair enough. What do you think of Soulless One? Because that's another one that I was just kind of hovering over.
That one of the XXs.
Mm-hmm.
3
Zombie
black,
avatar.
zombie avatar. Power and toughness are equal to the number of zombies on the battlefield plus the number of zombie cards in all graveyards. I mean, yes, but
Yeah,
I feel
maybe not enough.
I feel
Maybe not
like we're
enough.
going to be beating people with their creatures more than ours. However,
Okay.
is Grave Titan?
Grave Titan is not a zombie. It is a giant.
However, it makes zombies.
It does make. Yep, it does make zombies.
But it's not good enough.
How about Tormod? Now that I think of it, Tormod the Desecrator.
Okay.
3 black for a 4/2 zombie wizard legendary. Has partner. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, create a tapped 2/2 black zombie creature token.
We don't have much leaving our graveyard, though.
Gravecrawler. Things that are coming back from the graveyard repeatedly.
I'll say maybe. I don't think it triggers
Maybe.
enough as we want it to.
That's fair.
I just thought I could see the high tower popping off because of you're destroying a lot of stuff. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, Graveborn Muse.
Ooh, that is a good one. Nice card draw on that too, I think. You do lose a bunch of life though.
2 black. At the beginning of your upkeep, draw X cards. You lose X life, where X is the number of zombies you control.
Not a May.
Oh God, what's that one? At the beginning of your upkeep, make half X zombies, where X is the amount of zombies you control.
Endless Ranks of the Dead.
How could we forget?
Yeah. No, that seems great. That's a snowball machine.
Yeah, at the beginning of your upkeep, put X 2/2 black zombie creature tokens onto the battlefield where X is half the number of zombies you control rounded down. Yep.
Yeah, that I think that definitely needs to go in. We need to find cuts right now.
We need 2 cuts. Oh God.
I would also like to look at something real quick, actually. So we have 31 creatures. How many of them are expensive? Let's see. We have a decent amount of things that are fairly expensive.
Yeah, but you've put Crick in, so.
Oh no, I was thinking something like Heartless Summoning.
Nether Traitor is a spirit, not a zombie, so just
that's another one of those recursion abilities that I was thinking about with Tormod.
Just on that basis, I think I'm going to side it just because
Yep.
The Ebb and
I think that's
Death
fair.
does similar thing.
Diabolic Intent is coming from Mercadian Merchant as a suggestion as well.
Oh, that's
Diabolic, is that the one that sacrifices?
it's 1 and a black, sack a creature, tutor.
Oh,
I
that's that expensive one. Yep.
I like this card a lot. It needs a
Put it in your
reprint
hand.
so badly.
Yeah, Battle Bond only, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna
Well, technically no, but yeah.
I'm gonna go down to 34 lands, just because
Yeah,
our CMC is 3.51.
that's all we're at.
Yeah,
I thought we were making
3.51.
I thought we were making something a lot worse as
No.
far as the mana cost. Oh, you forgot the second half of Cabal Coffers, by the way.
What do you mean?
Urborg.
It doesn't matter. We've got 30 swamps.
Yeah.
I mean, it just
Oh, is it
seems.
only we control? It
Yeah.
is only weak.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I lied.
We don't
You
have
forgot nothing.
we don't have Swamp Walk. I think an Urborg in this deck is just a flex.
Ooh, but do we want Swamp Walk is the question.
I mean,
Because then we have to talk about Zombie Master.
Zombie Master?
Oh yeah. Are you not familiar with Zombie Master?
I think we searched it and I just glanced by it. All zombies gain Regenerate and Swamp Walk. All
For
right.
1 black, regenerate this creature and Swamp Walk. Maybe we get the Urborg in now.
All right, you did it. Urborg, Tomb of Yogmoth is going in. Nope, that's Urborg Drake.
Get that swamp out of here. Okay. Cuts. Mercadian Merchant also says Diagraph Colossus is a must for zombies. Oof, yeah. That's a good one too.
Diagraph Colossus. Oh, that's the one I was on about. That I wanted to suggest, but yeah. 2 and a black, 2/2, enters the battlefield with a +1 counter on it for each zombie card in your graveyard. Whenever you cast a zombie spell, put a zombie into the play. Okay, so we need to cut 3 cards for these amazing ones. Okay.
But Withering Boon. We don't need to counter a summon spell. Let's just do it. We have an Imp's Mischief.
Okay.
Do we need Tevish Sot? Is the other one that feels awkward now because it makes thralls. We can sack a creature, draw cards. I like that part.
We gain control of their commanders, and we are about gaining control of their stuff. I'm gonna look at
Maybe.
I'm more looking at Torment of. Oh, I don't know. Torment of Hellfire is a good thing. I think Deadly.
Is it Bolus Citadel?
I was gonna say. I think Deadly.
As much as I love it.
I think Deadly Tempest will hurt us more than anyone else, seeing as we're getting so much creatures.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, it's a great spell, but I think with our creatures, we're gonna get hurt a lot. And trying to think of something else.
Yeah, I was gonna say something like if Deadly Tempest was something more like a what's the other one? Not Living Deathish, but
Deadly Tempest?
no, the one that can potentially like pull commanders before anything resolves.
I'm not
Necromantic Selection? Is that the one?
I actually don't know.
Yeah, Necromantic Selection was the one I was thinking of. Maybe that would push it a little bit over, but that's 7 as well. So destroy all creatures, return a creature card, put into a graveyard this way to the battlefield under your control. It's a black zombie in addition to its other colors and types. Exile Necromantic Selection. All that happens on the stack. So if you blow up a commander, you bring it back under your control before they can put it in the command zone.
But we don't want to blow up our board. That's the only problem.
Yeah, I know that was the comparison is what I was thinking about for Deadly Tempest. Maybe that was the other thought. But yeah.
One more cut. Just seeing what isn't a zombie, just to make that an easy decision.
I'm looking at In Garrick's Wake. Board wipe, yes, but
it's one-sided board wipe.
Yeah, it's 9 though.
We're in Commander. We've got Black Market. We've got Cabal Coffers, Cabal Stronghold. We can put Nykthos Shrine to Nyx in if you wanted to.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that one. Is it Eternal Taskmaster? Is that too slow?
I was going to say, I was looking at Sir Conrad, to be honest.
You think?
I'm not sure.
It's whenever another creature dies.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I don't think that goes away. I think it's either, for me, It's either Gutter Bones is the other one I was thinking at. I'm sorry, I love skeletons being a thing too, but these enter tapped. Um, Gutter Bones and Eternal Taskmaster both come in tapped. And I
Mm,
think that Eternal Taskmaster, whenever it attacks, you may pay 2 and a black, return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. I think that's more worthwhile
okay.
than returning just Gutter Bones over and over again,
Well, we'll do
because
the
we're not getting the ETB zombie trigger off of it,
hmm,
potentially.
we'll do the gutter bones then, just for the time being, just because it's a skeleton and not a zombie.
Hmm.
Marcadian Merchant says Hellish Rebuke might be a good kill spell instead.
Yeah, let's put that in instead of like a Ravenous Chupacabra, because that's a beast horror. Because I really love Hellish Rebuke.
2 and a black. Until end of turn, permanent your opponent control. When this is dealt damage to the player who casts Hellish Rebuke, sacrifices permanent, you lose 2 life. Yeah.
Yeah, make
Uh,
them sack something, then we get it with our commander potentially. Yeah, that seems better than a single target Chupa.
yep, I like that more. And then Hecatome is a nice thing I just want to mention. What's that?
Never heard of the card in my life. I love it.
Oh, it's back from.
1 black. Yeah, 1 black for an enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice 4 creatures. If you don't, sacrifice Hecatomb. Tap and untap Swamp you control deals 1 damage to target creature or player.
Oh,
What are your thoughts on that, Mercadian Merchant? Like, what are we? I understand, like, you know, sack 4 creatures with a decay trigger and things like that, but what are we trying to ping?
I mean, if we have enough.
My well, my thoughts are just I feel like attrition might do it the same way. That's where my head's at. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, it's a good card. I like it. Oh, um, oh no, it's gone. I'll
What
maybe,
thought?
yeah, the thought's gone. I'll maybe board Hecatomb because I like it. I think it's really good, and we can ping creatures that we want to die and come back to our board. Um, but I like it personally.
That's fair.
Have we got 100 now? We're at 100.
Hmm. Okay. Did we already put the Colossus in? I can't remember. Diagraph.
Oh, it's in there.
Okay. Just checking.
It's in there.
Any other thoughts, last minute thoughts that people have that want to throw in on this?
Oh, the thoughts come back.
Oh.
I think it's got Eternal Bond too.
Hmm.
When
Is
it
it?
when it enters the battlefield, sacrifice any number of sacrifice any number of other permanents, then draw that many cards.
Okay.
Yes, no, maybe.
I think it's good. I
I'll
think it's probably good.
I'll maybe board it just because I like it, but
Here's the other one that maybe you want to maybe board. It's got a similar effect for when our commander's not out. So here, that was the thought. Kalitas, Trader of Get. It is not a zombie, but does have a really good effect. Um, it's also a lifelinker, which I personally like. But this is also a very much a strong candidate for maybe board, I think.
yeah,
3/4 Vampire Warrior with lifelink. If a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, instead again exile that card, and you get to put a 2/2 black zombie creature onto the battlefield, and then you can pay 2 and a black, sacrifice another vampire or most likely zombie, put 2+1/+1 counters on Kalitas, so it gets bigger, more lifelink, more life back. But I think that's a maybe board. I think it
yeah,
depends on how you want to play with it.
yeah. I think that would be a
But I
maybe
think
for
it's
me. I think
but I
that's
think it could definitely be solid.
I think that's a different strategy personally, but I can see it working. But maybe definitely.
Yeah. Magus of the Bridge may make a lot of tokens, says Mercadia Merchant.
Magus of the Bridge, I would. It's an odd one because it's the same as the Bridge from Below. Whenever a non-token creature is put into your graveyard, create a 2/2. Whenever a creature is put into an opponent's graveyard, exile the bridge. So as long as we've got our commander out, it's fine. Well, it's not even that actually, because the decayed creatures will die and go back to our opponent's graveyard. So we'll end up exiling our Magus of the Bridge quite easily, actually. This one's a very
Ooh.
odd card to work around, even in the best of decks, because you have to make sure that nothing goes to their grave.
Uh, Vizier of the Scorpion. Do we already have that?
Nope.
Another War of the Spark, fun one. So 2 and a black for a 1/1 zombie wizard. When it ETBs, amass 1. zombie tokens you control have death touch.
Okay, I like that. What are we going to take out, though? This is your doing.
It is indeed. I'm already trying to look.
This is your doing.
Yeah.
Is Crick really worth it now?
I'd say yes. There's a lot of black pips if you look up.
I know, but our mana curve's so low.
You're taking away a life flinker. Yeah. My thought is that you just need a lot of abilities to have lifelink, and try to make zombies as big as you can to get more life back, because inevitably zombie horde gets attacked on at some point.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it Violent Tumor? I feel like the 2/2 zombie warlock with death touch. Search your library for a card, put it into graveyard. What are we trying to put into our graveyard specifically?
I was going to
The
say
Ebon Death, is that?
Ebon Death or any of the ones that can come back.
Jojo says, quick question: will our commander even let the other cards see the death trigger?
In what way?
It's the death. Well, so it's a creature an opponent controls, then it would exile it. Now, at the beginning of your upkeep, when with Gisa out, you're getting all the cards that are exiled with Gisa onto the battlefield under your control. So, because these are creatures an opponent controls, when it dies, as far as our creatures, yes, it sees it. If that's your question, Jojo.
Yeah, they won't get death triggers because we're exiling them, but when we control them and they die, we will get the death triggers.
Oh yeah, Zach would hate this deck. Exile all the things on a commander. Yeah.
I just want to put one straight into maybe board just because I like it, and that's Deadly Rollick.
Yeah, exile for free. Yep.
I mean, yeah, just an exile. In fact, I might add this one in and take out one of the kill spells. What was the one that I put in? Infernal Grasp. I might take out Infernal Grasp and just keep Deadly Rollick in.
Okay, that's fine.
Just as an emergency.
Just put that in the maybe board instead, I'd say.
Yeah.
Patriarch's Bidding in the place of Dread Return is a suggestion. Patriarch's Bidding.
Oh, that's the new reprinted one.
Yeah. So instead of Dread Return, each player chooses a creature type. Each player returns all creature cards of a type chosen this way from their graveyard to the battlefield. I could see that. The other one I was thinking with that...
we choose zombies.
Yeah, I was thinking Haunting Voyage was a thought for that kind of an effect. That way it's not everybody gets to choose a creature type, but that's just me being mean.
Where's Dread Return?
Sorcery.
There it is. Yeah. I remember when Patriarch's Bidding was like 20, 30 plus, and now it's $1.
Yeah, good times.
It's a good time to play Magic.
So are we at 100 now?
We are 100 cards exactly. Our mana curve is 3.53. Our mana distribution of black is 100%. So we're looking good.
Yeah.
I think this Gisa looks like should be a fun deck. Zombie tribal and stealing and making Decayed from your enemy.
I think the Decayed makes it fun on top of everything else, because then you have a new zombie or new death trigger effect, and you get to kind of do some stealing. You get to kind of
I mean, I was actually thinking about putting Conspiracy in the deck. So creatures so our Decayed would be zombies as well.
That could be pretty good.
But I think that's a little too much. But well, it might not be.
Too much. More zombies. More zombies. Put that straight in the maybe board.
But I think that would be a great card to put in the deck if you have one.
Yeah, Mercadian Merchant says, Maskwood Nexus. That'll work too.
Maskwood Nexus, yeah. Just make all the Decayed zombies, because they're not zombies. They're the original creatures from what were exiled from Gisa. So
yeah, Maskwood Nexus makes it creatures you control are every creature type. Yeah.
I have a feeling that this deck is only as good as the decks you're playing against, which I feel is really good, because if they're going to start playing disgusting creatures, they're only going to have them thrown back at themselves.
Yeah. You know what Maskwood Nexus reminds me of, though, Mercadian? It just reminds me that we don't have a Wandering Archaic in here just to be nasty.
Yeah, that should go in most decks, but
yeah. But I think that We don't need to be copying everything that everybody else is doing. I think stealing them is enough, right?
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, I think that this deck is pretty fun. I think that, things like, you know, Carrion Feeder, Blood Artist. We have some aristocrats in here. We have some zombie tribal kind of throw zombies at people things going on. They all have death touch potentially.
We have card draw, we have big finishers, we have ramp with Black Market and Phyrexian Tower, Cabal Coffers.
Yeah, we don't need a soul ring.
Ashen will be happy with that. Um,
Agreed.
but yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think this is a nice rounded deck, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm going to
I
need to
think
get
some
myself some
playtest.
zombies.
Yeah. I love zombies.
Nice.
I'm happy.
Yeah, I think that's a deck. And Soul Who? Yeah, exactly. So I will put this up on the Into the 99 website in the next half an hour, so you can get the link through our website. Just go to content, Brewing It Live, scroll to the bottom, search for Gisa, and you'll see the link straight to the Archidect to this, so you can copy it, edit it. If anyone does edit their version, please message me. Come into our Discord, which the link's in our website as well. Let us know what you did instead. This will hopefully go up on YouTube in the next few days, because we're now up to date with YouTube due to our holidays that we've been taking between Brewing It Lives. So if you want to rewatch it, be my guest. Leave comments below.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody that joined us in chat. Appreciate everything. It's been a lot of fun.
It's been a lot of fun. And if you do want to support us, our Patreon is on our website, as well as our merch store as well. So feel free to give us some support and love, and come and chat to us in Discord. But otherwise, we'll see you next time. Good night.
Have a good one.
Bye.